Take me through the genesis of this film. How did you decide to make this your second film?
Since the last time I saw you when I did The Brass Teapot, I was waiting for the next big movie to come, and I was struggling, and I was quite honestly like depressed, and I was driven by madness because I just wanted to make my next film. And so finally my husband was tired of seeing me so upset and said, why don't you do what the Duplass brothers do and take some of our money, take our savings, go to a little town and film in our best friend's house. And so that started germinating in my head, and I reached out to my co-writer, Tim Macy, and I said, why don't we go to the Ozarks? Because he's from the Ozarks. Why don't we write a story that we can make in the Ozarks with your family? And so we started bouncing ideas back and forth over a period of a week. And then we came up with our idea of a woman coming home from the war with PTSD, which was really inspired because my brother had been in the Air Force, and I was estranged from him. And so that was very painful. And Tim had a lot of experience with issues around the Ozarks and poverty. And so we started working on these stories, and in 4 weeks we wrote the script. And fifth week I was in the Ozarks. I set up pre-production and just started telling everyone, here I am, I'm making this movie. I set a start date, and suddenly a producer, Gina Resnick, came on board. She started sending the script out to amazing talent, and Leven Rambin, auditioned, and I loved her. And so really it was this incredible process of determination and passion as an independent filmmaker to just make my film by any means possible.
You come around here asking about me like there's some kind of family reunion plan? After what you did?
These are the Ozarks woods, child. These people around here, they don't play by the same rules.
Hello? What are you doing out here? You have a name?
You brought that little boy out of the woods into your home. How is it you came to live out here in these woods?
Bad idea to tell people too much about yourself. Causes trouble.
Lost Child is about a veteran who returns home from the war with PTSD, and she comes home to find her brother in the Ozarks. And as she's trying to find him, she ends up discovering an abandoned child living in the woods, and she has to solve the mystery of who he is. And this is a dramatic thriller, all shot on location in the Ozarks with primarily people who had never acted before.
I met Ramaa through a mutual contact, and I read the script, and it was just unbelievable. I couldn't resist. I just had to be on the project. So then about a week later, I drove to the Ozarks and lived in West Plains for 6 months to make this movie.
Wow. So, you drove all the way from where?
From LA.
Did you know what you were getting yourself into?
I had an idea. I've produced many movies before, but it was quite a project. But it was unbelievable. I was so pleased to be on it. I love this film. I'm so proud of it.
Ramaa is so caring, and she writes from a very personal place. She co-wrote the story as well, and I could tell that when I read the script. So I knew that it was extremely close to her, and I wanted to do that justice. And I wanted, as much as she left on the page, I wanted to bring to the performance, knowing what we'd be able to do together. I told her, I'm going to go all in on this. I know I'm not the most famous person you could get. I know I'm blonde and bombshell looking or whatever, but I want to go. I will go in on this because this is what I want to do in my life. And she trusted me, and from then on we just had this unbreakable bond of like, how far are we going to go together? How much are we going to push each other? And we did. I changed the writing a lot. She changed my performance a lot. Sometimes we disagreed, but it was all for the betterment of the film.
Making a movie in the Ozarks is a very difficult thing. Physically, it's difficult because it was so hot in the summer. You're dealing with so much of the elements. We had no, crew. We had 12 people, and but what we had was an amazing actress who was committed. And so I couldn't have asked for a better partner in doing this. And really, the town itself, they were incredible partners, because the West Plains, Missouri, where this film is placed, when we arrived, they just took us in. They literally let us film in their homes. They came out to be in the movie. They then fed us. that was the kind of film we were making, is we were finding real people who could play these parts. So it's like this combination of incredibly trained, amazing actresses like Leven, and then people who had never done that before, like Kip Collins, or our child actor Landon Edwards, who plays Cecil.
You know, I just blue collar worked really hard on this, and you know, never expected anything like that, but I just knew how special this project was, how important this role was, and how amazing Ramaa is. So I was like, you know what, I'm going all in on this. You know, I almost died a few times of exhaustion, and there's one shot in there that's like somebody else's hands holding a magazine, because I literally like almost fainted. But I'm like, you know what, this is so worth it. This is the kind of art that moves people, and this kind of art that impacts people's hearts for a long time. So let's go there.